Okay, and today we got what name? Antonio. So Antonio Fantano was in them racial chat rooms showing feet. Bro, what is going on with this guy, bro? Ain't he like he a reaction channel too, ain't he? But let's check this out. Is this dude racist, bro? Who knows? Let's check this out though.
Infamously called Ian, who infamously called Ian.
Wait, is this him? But this how he was back in the days? I don't know.
And now he just kind of quotes that to death. That dude clearly had a few screws loose, but Ian really had no problem with putting him on blast to make him look ridiculous.
Did Anthony just say what I think he just said? Hold on, let me get into costume just to make this right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hello everyone, Omar here, the internet's most unemployed commentator, and I'm here to tell you
The most unemployed commentator. hey, look, I mean. Today on the unemployed line. Hey, yo. Hey, no, that's crazy. Let go.
about Anthony Fantano apparently being a racist. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with the needle drop, aka
I thought this dude was like some type of mix or something.
Anthony Fantano, aka that white guy in glasses who commentates on different albums, different music, different genres. He's widely regarded as the authoritarian on this side of YouTube, really on all sides of YouTube when it comes to reviewing music.
Say what you want about Anthony Fantano, whether you agree with his takes or not, but you gotta respect the guy. You have to, because first of all, he listens to an insane amount of music. I be going through his YouTube reviews and he's talking about music and artists that I've never heard in my life, and just a range of genre.
Do he talk about Lloyd Banks? I don't think he said anything about Lloyd Banks and stuff. Come on now. I mean, but you were entitled.
Right? Y'all don't do that, first of all. Second of all, every time he has a take or an opinion, he backs it up with facts. He's always talking about why he feels a certain way about a body of work, whether it's the production or the vocal performances. He has knowledge about how music is put together. Some of y'all like to jump on this app and just say, this album's mid, and you have no explanation. So whether you agree with him or not, you have to respect the fact that he backs up his explanation and his opinions every damn time.
Holy glaze. Well, I never
Hey, I'm about to say, like, gosh, she got me.
thought that I would be scrolling across the internet and coming across a tweet or a series of tweets about him saying some out of pocket, just downright racial things. Seems like another one bites the dust this week. I saw this tweet: in less than 24 hours, Anthony Fantano has been exposed laughing at Trayvon Martin's death with his alt-right buddies, caught saying the N-word with a hard R on video, and deleting posts from last night where he hinted Drake was a PDF file. This is what happens when white men pretend to be a part of a culture just to grift off of it, and y'all let him sit at the table this long. But I dug through the tweets, dug through all the evidence, and now I am here to present to you all a video about Anthony Fantano apparently being a racist. Now, the original video that we saw at the beginning is depicting him seemingly saying two slurs, one to blacks and one to gay people. To give him some bail here, this is quoted. This is from someone else saying how somebody was talking specifically about him, so it is taken a little bit out of context. But I would think that somebody who is more responsible, like Anthony Fantano, would be able to know that he should not be saying these sorts of words. Like, you shouldn't be saying these things even in a quote. This isn't literary work. I don't understand why people don't understand not to say these things when it comes to quoting someone. This is a white guy in a predominantly black space, and
yeah, that part, I'm like, bro, like they would never understand or get it. So
he seemed like Quentin Tarantino rolling those hard R's and F slurs off his tongue, man. Almost like he was years into the game of doing this. Now, if it ended there, we wouldn't be making this video, but there is more evidence about Anthony Fantano that is very, very damning, I'll say, to be quite honest with you.
Vegan invited me to an event that taught me about PETA's buying guide / neoliberal whiteness and Trayvon Martin. Okay.
Dude. Fuck Trayvon. I was thinking Trey Melvin. I had a big thing with Trey Melvin.
Trayvon Martin.
It's all these fucking black names, dude. I get confused.
Whoa! Whoa! Is bro gonna say something?
That's worse.
Yeah, I said it.
Is this the male equivalent of Doja Cat being in those racial?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's giving like that. It giving her and white when she. Yeah, bro.
Chat room showing her feet. Yeah, that is Anthony Fantano. That is not anything edited. That is him making fun of, laughing at Trayvon Martin, sitting with other friends saying the most out of pocket, outrageous things, and just.
I laughed at this for 30 minutes. You shouldn't be laughing at it at all. You shouldn't be laughing at it at all. I laughed at this for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You shouldn't be laughing at all, bro. You shouldn't be laughing at it at seconds. That's God, bro. So you straight up admitted that you're laughing, bro. You're oh man. I don't know, fam.
Not saying anything about it.
He should at least say something, but I guess he want to please like certain far right. Well, I don't know, them type people.
As a grown ass man,
He should at least educated them or whatever or something.
Want to hear those excuses in the chat, but yeah, that is Anthony Fantano. It was a meme review channel that he had from back in the day, where he also was depicted having a cord wrapped around his neck, while an image of a black guy with a white noose around his neck appeared behind him. Next, we can see a background image of another black person being choked right as Fantano says the words "choked to death." He's playing the specter of black, ending lives and deaths for laughs. Okay, well, I'm sure that has to be the only things that people have on Anthony Fantano as far as dirt goes. There can't be
the end of my YouTube career for
The whole Alex is a thing.
real nibbas do stuff.
Who infamously called Ian a Harvey Weinstein. What's your opinion on Mike Dean producing the new album? I'm not even a really big guy, so Jigglypuff is a social justice meme featuring a loud, obnoxious pig of a human being who is screaming her brains out at the New Hampshire college date of Milo Yiannopoulos' Dangerous Tour. Another funny slew of social justice memes come about because everything they say is nearly brain dead. There's so many of these videos cropping up that all of the channels that are essentially just ripping off Sargon of Akkad's channel can barely keep up. And calling him a Brony says, he's nice fave if he's a That's what it's supposed to look like, you
Yeah, that's brutal. That right there was
I think bro probably done. He probably cool.
part of an 8-minute supercut of people gathering information from Anthony Fantano in the past. He had an alt YouTube channel at one point in time where he just said and did some of the most outrageous things that the article, The Fader, would later on call him an edgelord for. Stuff that normal people just probably would not say. I think that that's a fair statement to say. And there's a bunch of excuses in which Anthony Fantano, his fans and disciples have used in order to shield him from any sort of backlash. As you notice, there were a lot of super chats or comments or tweets that he was reading from saying that, these slurs came from quotes and he was just quoting the person who was saying these things originally. Now, again,
that's me. That's bro, and we don't even know who the people is behind the chat. They probably ain't the same. They probably ain't even this, bro. I don't know, man.
I don't think that a lot of people find that to be a very valid excuse for saying these things.
I'm telling you, man, like, come on, man.
Outright. These things are still derogatory. They are disrespectful. It's not like he doesn't know that. He is very much.
He know that if that first girl was glazing him, like he do his fats and all that, he should have known. He should have known what to say and not to say. This dude, this Anthony Fantano, whatever his name is, this guy is losing points. Well, probably to some of the blacks.
In the know, but he still continued to say them for the sake of the conversation. I don't know.
It's just wild and stupid.
Or would make you just quote a bunch of racist things or homophobic things.
And I bet you, like I said, the people that probably in that chat ain't even this. They are not this.
Like that. Now, since then, the channel has been terminated from YouTube. We don't want that on the platform. We want to scrub that. He is still the needle drop after all.
So what happened? October 3rd, 2017. All of That Is The Plan's videos are removed and replaced with this video of his 20-second still image demonetization symbol. Anthony states on both his Twitter and his Facebook page that the channel is dead. On Twitter especially, Anthony discusses why the channel is dead and echoes these points in his Fader response video 3 days later. Fader had written a piece on how that is the plant panders to the alt-right. All the points made in the article are false, and Anthony explains how each point is ridiculous due to the points being made out of context. For example,
and the first shocking reveal is this photo. Is this photo of me during a video where I'm parodying Hobson fans? And the full reveal of this photo is this. The man is hanging himself with toilet paper. Toilet paper, not a noose. Which, if you didn't know, has been a pretty viral internet meme over the past year or so. Kids blowing up on platforms like the now defunct Vine, just kind of hanging themselves with toilet paper in the bathroom and like dropping off of their bathtubs. And off of sharing this meme, you're going to insinuate that I'm an alt-righter and that I'm racist and I want people, specifically black people, to be hurt.
Now, I'll give you that, Anthony. There are some memes that are definitely taken out of context. People shouldn't look at history that way. They should try to get the full scope and the full perspective and then try to make assessments and judgments, because that could have been debunked without even putting out some sort of article. There's definitely grace and there's place and space for understanding there.
I often say, like, how long was the tissue? When did the tissue thing came? Well, like I said, I don't know, bro. I don't know when he reacted to that and all that type of stuff. So I don't know.
I don't doubt that at all. How that excuses you from the other just flat out racist things that you said, it really doesn't. It shouldn't. And people have all the context in that. Some were in quotations, some were out of quotations. You just said it. So therefore, you should still be held accountable for that. And also, you also had people like Sam Hyde, who we killed Doja Cat for. You had him on your platform as well. Is there any explanation for that?
As she's being called out for posting a photo of herself wearing a t-shirt featuring Sam Hyde, who is, by the way, notoriously known across the internet for his neo beliefs. In a now deleted and resized image, she's wearing a black graphic t-shirt of Sam Hyde holding a firearm. The controversial figure has faced backlash in the past for his support to Donald Trump and the alt-right movement, and he's well known for donating $5,000 to Andrew Anglin, the founder of neo website The Daily Stormer. Doja has yet to comment anything about the selfie, but we can tell you people were not happy.
You think the police should treat people differently depending on their race?
Yes.
Why?
If you pulled up on a car full of 4 black guys at night and you asked them to roll their window down,
I go, yo, what's up, Holmes? Let's get something to eat.
What do you think would happen?
No, you're implying that they would be violent, but they wouldn't. They're good people.
Okay.
You racist guy? Are you a racist?
I got racial hang-ups. If I pick up the phone and it's Indian, I hang up.
I don't know how the keyboard warriors.
That's crazy. Yeah, shout out to that young little kid, bro. Yeah, like it was giving like, yo, that whoever that dude, he was implying that on like us black is like, yo, okay.
Can really
stereotype
defend these things, and this is why this matters. It's interesting how Anthony Fantano is very much a hip-hop enthusiast. He's a guy of the culture. He's a guy who criticizes hip-hop and consumes a lot of, you know, the remnants of it, gets all of the pieces and the parts of hip-hop, the culture, the people in it, etc., while then simultaneously,
so basically he almost like how Maury is just profiting off the he profiting off blacks.
Simultaneously turning around and saying racial things on the internet and hanging around people who have racial hang-ups because they're funny. I don't know, that's weird. If I was hanging out with a funny racist, I think people would think that it's strange and question me and my character, but I'm seeing a lot of defense online for him just because he's given favorable music reviews for their favorite artists.
Well, I feel like that's a crazy cop-out.
So stupid. It even makes it worse because Anthony Fantano has been seen on the internet in some sort of, again, attempt to be funny, I guess, TikTok video depicting or giving judgment as to who is black enough.
Kamala Harris was told that she's not black, and there was an outrage.
Sure.
I'm just, it's confusing to me why there wasn't a similar response by people like yourself, or like why what happened with Drake was treated differently.
Like whether or not I was outraged that was the case.
It's kind of messed up, right?
Well, I mean, I think those were happening in two far different contexts.
Well, I mean, like Drake's like black, right?
I mean, yeah, I can't deny that. Look, here's the thing. I'm not saying it's not faulty messaging. Like, you know, objectively speaking, like Drake's dad is black. Drake is black.
Anthony, it's not looking good for you in the light, but I do always want to give people an opportunity to at least respond to themselves, because that's one of the most.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I want to know if he's gonna respond to it. So this is not looking good, bro.
Beautiful things about the internet is that everybody, for whatever reason, feels the need to speak on everything. I just do not get it, like, why people feel the need to speak up. Oftentimes it makes them look much worse, but we'll see if that's what happens with Anthony here.
Now, these are the same sorts of allegations that I have fought against and won before, and I'm happy to do it again because I have nothing to hide and I know they're not true. With Exhibit A, this clip right here, which has just been going absolutely viral, and here's my explanation for it. Early on in my YouTube career, I had some pretty lax views when it came to quoting the language of others, and my point of view was, what does it matter? It's not me saying it. I'm relaying a lyric or a sentiment or a point of view expressed by someone else. And the reason I'm doing so is to voice disagreement with calling people racial and homophobic slurs as a bit, which is what the original content creator I was quoting was doing. I would rather err on the side of caution and not hurt anyone by explicitly voicing language that doesn't exist in a vacuum, even if I am quoting it. And that's actually been my approach for a very long time now. I mean, this clip may be new to you, but it's actually almost 10 years old. If this was ever something I made a regular habit of doing, believe me, you'd be seeing more examples than this. And obviously say that I'm sorry, which I am in fact sorry about this. Now, there are going to be some people watching this video who will say, no, that's not enough. I know you're a racist. I saw a clip of you laughing at Trayvon Martin's death. But believe it or not, the way this clip has been presented is a lie, and it's been heavily edited too. I gotta say, the Drunken Peasants podcast where I was appearing in that clip is explicitly not a right-wing podcast. And in this clip that you just saw, I'm reading a super chat that is on the screen that was sent in by a viewer of the show. And the reason I'm jumping into...
You should not have read it. But like I said, you got to come... Just face the consequences, bro.
Reading it is that partially it is a dig at me, because on the show it's not exactly a secret that I'm an openly liberal vegan. And from there, here is what actually happens.
A vegan invited me to an event.
Let's go.
From there, here is what actually happens.
A vegan invited me to an event that taught me about PETA's buying guide / neoliberal whiteness and Trayvon Martin. Okay.
Dude, fuck Trayvon. I was gonna. I was gonna say Trey Melvin, but it's no Trayvon Martin.
Man, totally you're so. You know what, Jeff? You're so right wing.
As you can see there, that is not the clip that is getting passed around. In this original clip, Jeff Holiday there on the podcast doesn't even finish his sentence. He apparently gets Trayvon Martin mixed up with someone else entirely, and I even call him a moron. Because that is obviously something a fucking moron would communicate. With all that being said, I realized a long time.
You should have said it a little more louder, bro, and just you know what I'm saying. You should have said it more louder and just put him on the spot.
Ago that I really do need to be careful about who I talk to and what platform I appear on publicly, because in the eyes of the wrong person, any association or appearance can be read as a deep tie or an endorsement of an idea that I don't fucking agree with.
I'm to the point where none of this is surprising to me. I knew Anthony was going to have something to say about all these, and while I did believe that there was some sort of edits made towards the Trayvon Martin clip, just the insensitivity around saying things for the sake of them being quotes or whatever the case may be, that was clearly still there. He also addressed the Fader situation where it was a white noose being hung around a black man. All that stuff is fine. There were some times in that super cut where there was no quote Anthony, and I think that was just totally glossed over. But again, does it surprise me that these young white men, content creators coming up in the internet in the early 2010s had said things like this before? No, not at all. For me, this conversation was one of those, okay, I expected this. It's not surprising situations to me. I'm not falling to my knees in Walmart because the needle drop is getting canceled now in Walmart. But what it does spark is an interesting conversation. Two things. Is being young an excuse? And two, how do people feel about pulling up old topics continuously and repeatedly? For me, as far as pulling up old topics continuously and repeatedly about your past that have been debunked before, this is the price of, and I don't even want to say fame, but just living life, experiencing new people, being shown to a new audience, etc., etc. It's your past, and it is a part of who you are and your story. You are going to have to address it, as annoying as it may be. And you could go the route of not addressing it at all. I found that Duke Dennis did that most recently when people brought up a case about him back in 2014, I want to say. He just ultimately did not address it, and it died down, which these things normally do, because a lot of the internet has a lot of fake outrage built into them. But at the end of the day, as you grow and people look through your past and your history, it's no different than if you go get a background check and you have something on there, or if you have a job interview where they're looking at your resume. That's your life. You're gonna have to respond about it. And as long as you've atoned for those sins that you've done in the past, you should be okay with talking about those things. That's why I felt it was very weird when Neon got so upset that.
That's why I be saying, like, yo, if I see someone, like a white person say some N-word, if I see a white person say N-word, bro, and he want to ask for an apology and stuff, I'm more like, do I accept his apology? No. But if he want to change himself and get away from them type of people, change his audience stuff with a better good, then yo, that was up.
The Breakfast Club, albeit in a joking manner, was just simply asking him about his past, and quite honestly, a lighthearted version of it. You should be able to just address it. And two, is being young an excuse? I think not. Not at all. There was a tweet that I had saw about Love Island this past weekend. Sierra from Love Island, who we had covered on this channel, who said a racial slur on her platform. It's interesting how these people are young and they don't know any better, yet they use these terms, phrases, racial epithets, slurs, or whatever the case may be, in the most perfect presentation ever. It makes no sense. If I didn't know that this was,
like, do they, like, what school do they be going to? Do they school don't not teach them this type of stuff?
Was hurtful, or if I didn't know that this was a slur, or if I didn't know the context of any of this stuff, I would use it wrong. We've seen videos, we've seen depictions, we know people in real life that don't know what words mean and they use them wrong. Hell, sometimes I use words wrong on this platform and I know people are like, you know what? Omar doesn't know what that word means. And that's okay. Chalk that up to total ignorance. But to say that somebody is young as an excuse when they are using it in the best way possible, it just does not make any sense to me. So how's this gonna go over? I really don't know. I don't think that people are going to cancel Anthony Fantano. I don't think cancel culture is even real. These people are gonna move on regardless of how much evidence is presented in front of you. I just don't want people to go forward using those two excuses about pulling up old tweets and what's wrong with people, etc., as some sort of grace from now on, and especially not the it's young, that was the era. Listen, that whole it's young, it was the era conversation is one of the stupidest things in the world. You wanted to be edgy because that was the era of being edgy. I'll even give you grace there. Fine, that's cool. It's stupid, but it's cool. You could have chose any way to be edgy. You could have just chose to be an outright contrarian, opposing things that are just widely regarded to be known as true. You could have been homophobic. You could have been misogynistic. You could have been just anti anything. You chose to be racist. I don't think that that's just a secret. Now, sometimes everybody chooses all of them, but if you wanted to be edgy, there's ways to be edgy that don't include you, disparaging people for their race, their gender, or their class, or whatever the case may be. If I wanted to be edgy, I'd probably get a neck tattoo. Right? I'd probably start smoking cigs. I don't think I would start going out there calling Mexican or Hispanic people just everything under the sun. That's probably not how I would do it. I'm thinking this cancellation is a strong to light 6. I don't think it's very impactful. I don't think it's very meaningful. Not his best work, but also not his worst work. Yeah, this was kind of weak to me. Transition. Have you read up on the Anthony Fantano situation? Is he canceled to you? Do you even go to him for your music reviews?
I don't even go to him, you know what I'm saying? I just see him just grow. I don't be really paying attention to him that much like that, but yeah, you already know.
What about for your commentary needs? Who are you listening to? Let me know what you think in the comment section.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, bro, there you go right there, bro. I don't know about that guy like that. I don't watch him like that too often anyway, so yeah. Link up in the description.